How's it going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're finally talking Borderlands. Though I would classify myself more of a casual fan of the Borderlands video games as opposed to a diehard fan, I was only marginally hopeful that this film could do the franchise justice. From the casting to a lot of the behind-the-scenes drama, it felt like they were fighting an uphill battle that would be really difficult to overcome, but you never know. When an infamous bounty hunter is tasked with finding and saving a missing girl, she forms an unexpected team of misfits to battle against aliens and dangerous bandits to uncover one of Pandora's most explosive secrets. As somebody that plays a lot of video games, it really felt like the last few years in particular that Hollywood was finally turning a corner as far as adapting these video games into films and TV shows. The Last of Us, Arcane, Sonic, Mario, Fallout. Personally, I'm just going to ignore that Halo also came out during that span.
No, not you, Seamus. Ah, poo.
But unfortunately, here comes Borderlands to kind of blow up a lot of the goodwill that we've been building towards these video game adaptations lately. It's unfortunate given that there are sprinklings of ideas throughout the film that could have made this a far more exciting adventure fans could get behind, while also managing to bring in new fans who are unfamiliar with the world and the characters that inhabit it. From a visual standpoint, Borderlands is kind of tricky. It certainly has bright spots when bringing this world and everything into live action, even executing some pretty exciting, over-the-top, wacky action with the team facing various scavengers, aliens. At the exact same time, the CGI all around in the film is very rough. It's honestly distractingly bad in some sequences. One major detail that I truly believe hinders much of the experience is the fact that they went with a PG-13 rating when the Borderlands video games are rated M. From a marketing standpoint, I understand the decision. You want to have mass market appeal with a PG-13 film that you can't get with an R rating. However, with a franchise like Borderlands being a PG-13 film, I think hinders the sandbox of what you're capable of doing. From the adventure itself, the type of action, so much of the humor completely falls flat. Essentially, almost nothing tonally feels like Borderlands, which in hindsight made it all the more confusing they decided to have Eli Roth direct Borderlands, a director that has done some non-R-rated work before. Primarily when you think of Eli Roth's films, Cabin Fever, Hostel, Thanksgiving, he's a type of director that is usually well known for the outrageous style he brings to his projects. So with his directing style in this watered down world of Borderlands, these styles don't mesh whatsoever. Major detail that's holding Borderlands back, unfortunately, is something many of us were concerned about once it was announced, and that was the cast. Don't get me wrong, if you assembled this cast for any other type of film besides Borderlands, I would be excited. I think it's a great cast. But for the characters that we know and love from the Borderlands video games, I would say the majority of them are severely miscast. Several of them do the best that they can with the material that's given to them. Cate Blanchett in particular, I mean, she's Cate Blanchett. She still is pretty awesome and has a few badass moments here and there. It was definitely an enjoyable performance, but it never gave off Lilith vibes. Same goes for Jaime Lee Curtis. Her performance was okay, but she is nothing like the video game counterpart. That's ignoring the fact that both Cate Blanchett and Jaime Lee Curtis are far older than the video game characters. Out of this group, the two major standouts, to me at least, was Ariana Greenblatt, who plays Tiny Tina. Some of it probably boils down to bias because Tiny Tina is one of my favorite characters in the video game. Even still, I think she did a fantastic job bringing out Tiny Tina's eccentric personality and mannerisms. More so is exactly how I feel about Jack Black voicing Claptrap. Of the moments I found funny, he had most of them and delivered the most energy with his performance. To be completely honest, out of this group, the one I think is the most miscast is Kevin Hart as Roland. Nothing about his performance really stuck out to me as Roland from the video games. It just felt like Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart again. It's crazy to me he got cast as Roland in the first place because Roland in the video games is almost 6 feet tall. While the adventure we go on with these characters isn't inherently terrible or anything, I wouldn't necessarily say it's overwhelmingly engaging either. Some of the elements to it feel loosely reminiscent to the video games, while also at the same time feeling very reminiscent of other well-known films like Guardians of the Galaxy or Suicide Squad. A group of misfits with different personalities forced to bond over the course of trying to save this girl, searching for a special vault, only to realize inevitably during their mission, everything about it is far more important than they ever expected it to be. There isn't anything inherently wrong with recycling these concepts, it's just those films have far better written characters, humor, and world building to get you invested overall, which I think Borderlands is severely lacking, even if you are someone that's going into this with all the knowledge and love for the Borderlands video game. At the end of the day, I don't truly know what this movie is for. I think it's going to turn off a lot of die-hard Borderlands fans, since it's lacking a lot of the fun personality from the Borderlands games, and if you're going into this as somebody that isn't a fan of the video games, you're fresh to the franchise, I don't think you're going to be really interested in wanting to know more, regardless of the fact that this film does set up potential plot threads for a sequel. It's a starting point for a franchise that, honestly, I would be very shocked if we got a sequel to this. Unfortunately, Borderlands is a largely forgettable, disappointing adaptation for this video game franchise. The potential for sure was there, but the weak script and poor casting will most likely disappoint fans, and as I just said, I highly doubt we're going to get a lot of new fans of the franchise from this adaptation. Regardless of the fact that I think Borderlands is a pretty lackluster video game adaptation, there are a lot of worse examples out there of video game adaptations, so I probably wouldn't even put it in the bottom 10 video game adaptations. It's just a largely forgettable experience. Once you get a chance to check out Borderlands, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Either way, make sure you share your thoughts down below, because the fun is that conversation with you guys in the comment section. Thank you guys, as always, for checking out videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure to like on the video and also subscribe to the channel so you update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. For next time, I'll see you guys later.